What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage, and this is the Jasion X Hunter e-bike. This is one of the foldable e-bikes. You can knock down the handlebars and split it in half and store it in the trunk of a car. This would fit in a Ford Focus trunk. This is a 750 watt 48 volt bike. It has a hub mounted motor, and it runs about 20 miles per hour. It has the 7-speed Shimano cassette on it, or gearbox, whatever you want to call it. It's a really nice e-bike. It has the same screen that a lot of e-bikes come with. It tells you, of course, your speed, your trip, your miles, and you have a few different power settings. You have headlights and horn on the left-hand side with the main power for the screen. And I like this bike a lot because it has the little tray on the back to put, you can put a milk crate on there and haul around stuff. These bikes are really handy for us because when we're filming like a vehicle out here, my wife's having to run back and forth and she's carrying cameras and stuff, especially when we're doing drone shots. Stuff like this is really handy because she can just set stuff on the rack and haul it around. It does have front LED headlight, it has rear LED brake lights. It has adjustable front forks, and you can also lock them out, and that's for if you're strapping it down on a trailer in the bed of your truck, it won't collapse the front forks because that's actually not good, you know, to collapse them and hold them there. It has front and rear fenders, and it has mechanical disc brakes, and they actually work extremely well. The only thing with mechanical discs, you may have to adjust them over time as the pads wear, but they stop extremely well. Like from a full speed stop, 20 mile an hour, you can stop in just, 20, 30 feet. It also has rear suspension, and it is non-adjustable. You can just adjust the front. It's a full aluminum chassis. It's a really nice bike, so let's get it out on the road and see what we think of it. This is the Jasion X Hunter. This is a 750 watt 48 volt e-bike. Does a hair under 20 miles per hour. We got her fully pinned. We're not using gears right now. We're just letting her eat, baby. Oh, we got 20 right there, and still climbing. We hit about 22-ish. The bike is going to probably limit itself at about 22. It seems like they put a governor in here just because I think on e-bikes the reason they do it is you can only pedal so fast with the gearing ratio in 7th gear, and they don't want you overcoming what you could actually pedal. So I do believe that's the deal of why they limit them on how much they'll go, just wide open. So this does have the 7-speed Shimano cassette, I think they call it on bikes. So you do have 7 speeds. You have a quick gear up here with your thumb, and you have the gear down like a little toggle up here. It does have a twist throttle, as you can see on screen. It's like half of the grip is throttle. Has headlight and horn button. It's actually a pretty loud digital horn. Then it has where you can select between your modes and then also change like if you want to see trip, miles, things like that. So there are some settings you can mess with. I wouldn't recommend it unless you can find a full ride up on this controller, because we actually messed with some stuff and the bike wouldn't run. Because we went into the settings where you're, the manufacturer will tell you not to do that, of course, but we did it. This is a tall standing bike. Like, these handlebars are level with the way I'm setting right now. It's really high, but a lot of these folding e-bikes are like this. Now this does fold. It's probably a 2-person. It would make it easier if you had 2 people to fold this bike, but you can do it by yourself. But I would recommend having 2. You flip down the handlebars. Once the handlebars are down, you unhook the main breakaway in the center of the frame. It folds, and that is the same location that you pull the battery out. You got to use the key to release the battery from it, and then you can slide it out. You can have swappable batteries. I do recommend charging stuff like this away from your house. Like if you have an outdoor shed or something, that's where I would recommend charging these batteries. Whether it's a reputable brand or not, I still wouldn't trust charging such a large battery inside my home. That's just the way I am. You do whatever you want at your own risk. But this is a full suspension bike, so it does have a rear swing arm, has a triple clamp with forks on the front, and the suspension is adjustable. Now, I have not adjusted this from out of the box. Normally, for my weight, I tension the bad boys up all the way, but this seems to be doing really good. So you can preload the spring inside or unpreload it, which will make it, you know, softer or harder. The more you tighten it down, the harder it'll make the suspension. Brakes are extremely well for mechanical discs. This does got disc brakes, but they are mechanically driven, so you may have to adjust them over time. That is one upside to hydraulics, is you don't have to adjust them. You just change your pads out when they get wore. The hydraulic piston does the adjusting. I've never had to adjust the brakes on one of these, but we've also not put crazy, you know, miles or hours on one. So that's just going to determine how rough you are on the brakes, honestly. Now, we have rode this one for a few miles, and it wasn't 100% charged. And I will put the stats on the screen of how much miles you're supposed to get out of the charge. I am assisting it with pedals up this hill. But it would have made it up the hill. It just would have slowed down dramatically. But this does have a rear cargo rack, which when we're filming, it's extremely handy because we can strap cameras, bags, whatever to the rear, and, you know, have a extra set of hands on us. That is super handy. It takes a little time to adjust it out for your comfort because it is a tall setting bike. I would feel like this is an adult's bike instead of like a kid's bike. But yeah, it is a really nice, well built. Of course, they're all aluminum frames, really nicely built bikes. Not too heavy. I feel like you could fold it and load it up. Most people could by themselves. If you're on the smaller side, you may need some help. It does seem like we're maxing out at around 20 miles per. Alright, so if you guys are interested in this X Hunter from Jasion, I'm assuming that's how you say their brand. I never know how to say these Chinese company brands, but make sure to check out the links in the video description. If we have any discount codes, they'll be located down there as well, and they do help us continue to do videos. We like messing with these e-bikes. They're super fun. If you are in the market for one, I'm just putting these videos out to help the consumer, just like we do in the go-kart mini bike world. That's the reason we show these. I know not everybody's interested in these, but I think they're super fun, especially if you have a town like ours to ride them in. Like, I feel like it's a great time to get out and hang out with your kids, and you can have a break. Like, I normally pedal 90% of the time on these bikes, but it's nice when you get worn out or go up a hill to, you know, give yourself a rest for sure. So make sure to check them out in the video description. We'll have it linked down there, and some accessories and stuff, extra batteries you can get for these bikes. And yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for watching and checking out the video.